Have you ever gone to a place for the very first time and suddenly felt like, wait, I've been here before? You feel completely sure that you've seen this place already, but you have no idea when or how it feels so familiar, even though it's your first time there. Then your mind starts playing tricks on you. You wonder, was I here in a past life? Or did I somehow enter a parallel universe? This strange experience is called déjà vu, which literally means already seen. Scientifically, déjà vu is very hard to study because you can't just recreate that feeling on demand in a lab. It happens randomly. People usually start experiencing déjà vu after the age of 8 or 9. It's most common during the teenage years and 20s, and then it gradually becomes less frequent over time. This suggests that it's connected to brain development. Here's a simple way to understand it. Deep structures in your brain that process unconscious experiences can sometimes get slightly out of sync with the parts responsible for conscious awareness. When your brain processes information, it tells you what you're seeing, but sometimes that system overlaps in a weird way. In simple terms, when your eyes see something, the signal is sent to the back of your brain, to an area called the visual cortex. That's where the image gets processed, and you recognize what you're looking at. But the visual cortex isn't the only stop. The information also passes through other areas, like the amygdala, which handles emotions, and the tectum, which helps control eye movements. This is important because it shows how multiple parts of the brain work together to create your perception of reality, and sometimes that system glitches, creating the feeling that you've already experienced something before. In some people, the part of the brain called the visual cortex, the area that processes images, doesn't work properly, but the rest of the brain is still functioning. Because of this, some blind individuals can actually avoid obstacles even though they can't consciously see anything. This phenomenon is called blindsight. When we look at something, a lot is happening in our brain behind the scenes. So if certain brain structures allow blind people to unconsciously sense what's around them, it also helps us better understand déjà vu. The most widely accepted theory is that déjà vu happens because of a small glitch in the brain's processing. Normally, your brain processes information almost instantly, in a fraction of a second. But sometimes, there's a tiny delay in recognizing what's happening. Because of that delay, it feels like the moment has already happened, even though it's actually happening right now. This delay may occur because long-term memory and short-term memory get mixed up. The brain mistakenly stores a current experience as if it's a past memory, which creates the feeling that you've experienced it before. Another theory suggests that it's related to how the brain stores and recalls memories. Your brain is constantly comparing new experiences with past ones. Sometimes it finds similarities that are very close. For example, when you visit a new place, certain details might resemble something you've seen before. That similarity can trick your brain into thinking you've already been there. You might have also experienced something called a hypnic jerk. It happens when you're about to fall asleep and suddenly feel like you're falling from a height, causing your body to jerk awake. You suddenly feel a jerk. What's actually happening is that when you're about to fall asleep, your body's muscles start to fully relax, but some parts of your brain are still awake. Those active parts of the brain misinterpret this relaxation as a loss of support, like you're falling. So the brain sends a strong signal to your muscles, which causes that sudden jolt and wakes you up. And déjà vu isn't the only strange experience. There's another one called presque. This is when you know something, you're sure you know it, but you just can't recall it in that moment. Like when you're trying to remember an actor's name, you're like, what's that guy's name? The bald one from Fast and Furious? You've seen all the movies, but somehow the name just won't come to mind. One explanation is that similar words or memories interfere with the one you're trying to recall. Your brain is actually trying to help, but in the process, it blocks the exact word you're searching for. Even in a group, if everyone is thinking along similar lines, it can be hard for anyone to recall the correct word. But as soon as the conversation shifts and that mental block goes away, suddenly someone says, "Oh yeah, it's Vin Diesel." There's also another phenomenon where something familiar suddenly starts to feel strange. If you repeat a word over and over again, it can start to lose its meaning. You might even think, wait, is that even a real word? It feels weird, right? Scientists believe that when neurons in your brain are constantly activated by the same word, it begins to feel unfamiliar. Let me know in the comments which of these experiences you've had. There's still so much about the brain and the world that we don't fully understand. With déjà vu, it feels like we've lived a moment before, but in reality, it's just our brain playing tricks on us.